The air in Toronto was electric, pulsing with a sense of anticipation that seemed to ripple through every street and alleyway. The city, known for its vibrant culture and passionate sports fans, was alive with hope and excitement. For many, this was more than just another baseball game. It was a moment decades in the making, a chance to witness history unfold right in their own backyard. Buzzing with anticipation not felt in over 3 decades, fans of all ages gathered outside the Rogers Center, their faces painted in blue and white, their voices joining together in chants that echoed across the city. The energy was contagious, drawing in even those who had never followed baseball before. On October 24, 2025, the Rogers Center became a sea of blue and white for Game 1 of the World Series. Every seat was filled, every eye fixed on the diamond, as the city's beloved Blue Jays prepared to take on the ultimate challenge. The stadium pulsed with the collective heartbeat of a city united by hope and pride. The Toronto Blue Jays faced the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers, a clash of titans, a city's dream revived since 1993. The players stood shoulder to shoulder, the weight of history and expectation heavy on their shoulders, as the national anthems played and the crowd roared in approval. For Toronto, this was more than a game. It was a chance to prove they belonged on baseball's grandest stage. Generations of fans, from those who remembered the glory days of the early 90s, to children experiencing their first taste of postseason magic, all shared in the moment. The city's hopes rested on the shoulders of their team, and the belief was palpable. The Dodgers, cool and confident, aimed to set the tone and remind everyone why they were the team to beat. With a roster stacked with talent and experience, they exuded the calm assurance of champions, determined to defend their title and silence the roaring Toronto crowd. The stakes were immense, a hungry underdog versus a polished dynasty, with momentum and history hanging in the balance. Every pitch, every swing, every cheer from the stands carried the weight of dreams and legacies. The tension was almost tangible, as fans from both sides held their breath, knowing that anything could happen on baseball's biggest stage. As the first pitch was thrown, the 2025 World Series began, promising baseball at its absolute finest. The city of Toronto, the Blue Jays, and their fans were ready to write the next chapter in their storied history, united in hope, pride, and the thrill of the game. The Dodgers' journey through the postseason was nothing short of a masterclass in baseball dominance. From the very first pitch of October, they set the tone, sweeping aside the Cincinnati Reds with a display of power and precision that left little doubt about their championship ambitions. The dugout was alive with energy, every high five and celebration a testament to their unity and focus. But the road was far from easy. Next, they faced the battle-hardened Philadelphia Phillies, a team known for their grit and postseason pedigree. The Dodgers outlasted them in a tense, hard-fought series, showing not just their talent, but their resilience under pressure. Their momentum only grew as they crushed the Milwaukee Brewers, dominating both at the plate and on the mound. Each victory brought them closer to the Fall Classic, and with every game their confidence soared. The Dodgers' roster was stacked with stars, but it was their depth and chemistry that truly set them apart. Their powerful offense, capable of explosive rallies and clutch home runs, combined with a deep, versatile pitching staff, made reaching the World Series feel almost inevitable. For Dodgers fans, anything less would have been a disappointment. The expectation was clear. This team was built to win it all. Meanwhile, north of the border, the Toronto Blue Jays were crafting a story of their own, one fueled by hunger, resilience, and a burning desire to make history. Finishing the regular season with an impressive 94-68 record, the Blue Jays earned a coveted first-round bye, giving them time to regroup and refocus for the battles ahead. Their fans, starved for postseason glory since 1993, filled the stadium with hope and anticipation. The Blue Jays toppled the mighty New York Yankees in the ALDS, overcoming adversity and silencing doubters with clutch performances and unwavering belief. Their path only grew more dramatic in the ALCS, where they faced the Seattle Mariners in a grueling 7-game battle. Each game was a test of nerves and heart, but the Blue Jays emerged victorious, celebrating a hard-fought win that would be remembered for years to come. That triumph crowned them American League champions for the first time in 3 decades, igniting wild celebrations across Toronto and uniting fans from coast to coast in Canada. The city streets overflowed with joy, and the Canadian flag waved proudly at Rogers Center. As the Blue Jays prepared for the World Series, they did so not just as underdogs, but as true contenders, battle-tested, hungry, and ready to seize their moment on baseball's biggest stage. Both teams had endured a season-long gauntlet, overcoming injuries, slumps, and the relentless grind of a 162-game schedule. Now, only one would seize the ultimate prize and etch their name into October history. The stage was set for an epic showdown, 2 teams, 2 nations, and 1 dream, to claim baseball's greatest glory. The 2025 World Series was a showcase of baseball's brightest stars. The Dodgers boasted Shohei Ohtani, a two-way sensation, alongside Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Will Smith, forming a relentless offensive machine. Their lineup was built for October, blending all-star talent with postseason experience. The Blue Jays countered with their own electrifying core: Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the franchise's heart and power; Bo Bichette, a consistent threat; Alejandro Kirk, a disciplined hitter; and Dalton Varsho, a dynamic outfielder. Toronto's young stars had grown together, ready to challenge the Dodgers dynasty. Both lineups were loaded, each capable of changing a game with a single swing. The stage was set for a duel of talent and willpower. The world watched as these stars prepared to shine under the brightest lights. Game 1 opened with the Dodgers immediately flexing their championship pedigree. In the first inning, Enrique Hernandez's RBI single put Los Angeles up 1-0, silencing the Toronto crowd. By the third, Will Smith's clutch hit extended the lead to 2-0, as the Dodgers executed with precision. Blake Snell, their ace, kept the Blue Jays' bats quiet, and the visitors looked in control. The Rogers Center's energy turned tense as the Dodgers methodically built their lead. Toronto faced an early test. Could they answer the champions' challenge? The pressure was on for the home team to respond. For 3 innings, Blake Snell stifled the Blue Jays, and the crowd's excitement faded. But in the fourth, Dalton Varsho stepped up and changed everything. With a powerful swing, Varsho launched a 2-run homer, tying the game and reigniting the stadium. The momentum shifted instantly. Toronto was back in it. The home run was more than just runs. It was a surge of belief for the team and fans. The Blue Jays had weathered the early storm and landed a counterpunch. The game was reset, and the Rogers Center roared with renewed hope. The battle was far from over. The game remained tied until the bottom of the 6th, a frame that would become legendary. Snell faltered, loading the bases with no outs, and the Dodgers bullpen couldn't stop the bleeding. Ernie Clement's single gave Toronto the lead, and a walk to Nathan Lukes made it 4-2. Andres Gimenez added another RBI single, pushing it to 5-2. The Blue Jays' discipline and energy overwhelmed the Dodgers, who struggled to record outs. The bases remained loaded, and the crowd sensed something historic was brewing. Toronto was dismantling the defending champs, run by run. The inning was already unforgettable, but the most dramatic moment was still to come. The Rogers Center buzzed with anticipation. With the bases loaded and Toronto leading 5-2, pinch hitter Addison Barger stepped in. On the biggest stage, Barger delivered. A thunderous swing sent a grand slam into the night. The Rogers Center erupted as Barger rounded the bases, his teammates pouring out in celebration. The grand slam pushed the lead to 9-2, breaking the game wide open and crushing the Dodgers' hopes. It was a moment for the ages, a pinch-hit grand slam in the World Series. Barger became an instant Toronto hero, his swing replayed in fans' memories for years to come. The inning had turned a close contest into a blowout. Toronto had seized complete control of Game 1. Even down big, the Dodgers showed their star power in the 7th. Shohei Ohtani blasted a 2-run homer, cutting the deficit to 9-4. But the Blue Jays answered immediately, as Alejandro Kirk launched a 2-run shot of his own, restoring the lead to 11-4. Kirk's homer was his 4th of the postseason, capping Toronto's offensive explosion. The Rogers Center celebrated as the final outs approached, the outcome no longer in doubt. Ohtani's brilliance was a brief spark, but the night belonged to Toronto. The Blue Jays' bats had overwhelmed the defending champs. As the last out was recorded, Toronto secured an emphatic 11-4 victory. Game 1 was theirs, a statement win on baseball's biggest stage. The final out set off a massive celebration in Toronto, an eruption of joy that echoed through the Rogers Center and spilled out into the city streets. Fans leapt to their feet, waving flags and hugging strangers, united by a moment they'd waited years to experience. The Blue Jays had just delivered a performance for the ages, one that would be talked about for generations. The Blue Jays had dominated the defending champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, in a way few thought possible. Every inning, every pitch, every at-bat seemed to tilt in Toronto's favor, as if destiny itself was wearing blue and white. Their emphatic 11-4 win didn't just give them a crucial lead in the series, it sent a message to the entire baseball world. The Blue Jays belonged on this stage, and they were here to win it all. Heroes emerged in the spotlight. Varsho's game-tying homer electrified the crowd, Kirk's late blast added insurance, and the team's energy never wavered. And then, Barger's iconic grand slam, a moment that instantly became part of Blue Jays lore. The stadium shook as fans roared, and teammates poured out of the dugout to greet him at home plate. It was the kind of play that turns players into legends and games into memories that last a lifetime. The legendary sixth inning, where the Jays broke the game wide open, would be remembered for decades. It was a perfect storm of clutch hitting, smart base running, and unbreakable team spirit. For every fan in attendance, it was a night they'd never forget. For the Dodgers, the pressure was now squarely on their shoulders. The defending champs, stunned and searching for answers, knew they had to regroup and respond in Game 2 if they wanted to keep their title hopes alive. The series was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. For Toronto, the challenge was clear: maintain their focus, keep their hunger, and not let the euphoria of one win distract them from the ultimate goal. The players gathered, reminding each other that the journey was just beginning and that every pitch in the coming games would matter even more. Across the city and throughout the country, fans reveled in the victory. Streets filled with celebrations, car horns blared, and Blue Jays jerseys were everywhere. For a night, the championship dream felt closer than ever, and hope was alive in every corner of Toronto. The road ahead promised more drama, more tension, and more unforgettable moments. But for this one night, Toronto stood atop the baseball world, united in triumph and anticipation for what was still to come. The path to a World Series title had never felt clearer. With confidence soaring and a city behind them, the Blue Jays looked ahead, ready to chase history and bring a championship home.